The fairy tale, the umbrella that kept fears away. A boy had an old umbrella. It stood by the door, simple and warm, with a hook handle and a button you had to click to open it. During the day, it was just an umbrella, but at night, it became a guard. Every evening, when the lights went off, the umbrella slowly started to move. It opened by itself, no click, and gently floated up, softly, like it didn't want to wake anyone. It flew over the boy's bed and stayed above him like an invisible dome. The light from the street lamp slid gently over its dark fabric. Sometimes little fairies peeked out from the corners of the room. They were all different. One rustled, one had a long shadow, and one just felt cold. They crept closer, whispered, stretched, but the umbrella didn't let them in. It turned toward them and said, very quietly and very calmly, "No, you can't come here. This is a quiet place. This is a resting place. My child is here." And the fears faded away like raindrops breaking on the fabric. The boy never knew, he just slept. Sometimes he turned over, sometimes he smiled, sometimes he hugged his pillow and kept on dreaming. And the umbrella watched over him until morning. When the sun peeked through the window, it gently folded itself and returned to the door, like nothing ever happened. But it knew the job was done and Fair had lost again. And the umbrella watched over him until morning. When the sun peeked through the window, it gently folded itself and returned to the door, like nothing ever happened. But it knew the job was done and Fair had lost again. The Fairy Tale, Little Lamb Lee and the Shadow on the Wolf. There was a little light bulb named Lee living on the ceiling. She wasn't too bright, but not too dim either. Her light was special, warm and golden, like the light in Grandma's kitchen. During the day, she just hung there, watching games, books, dances in front of the mirror, and tea parties with teddy bears. But in the evening, when the big light turned off, Lightbulb Lee truly woke up. She didn't turn on with a loud click, like other lights. She light up slowly, like a soft breeze before sleep. One night, the boy got into bed, closed his eyes, and saw a strange shadow on the wall. It was big, dark, and looked like it was moving. "Mom," he called out. Mom came in, patted his head, and left, but the shadow stayed. "Lee," the boy whispered, "I'm scared." "What is that?" Lightbulb Lee glowed a little brighter. Her light spread gently across the walls, like hands softly touching the room. "Look," she said, "it's just your robe hanging on the back of the chair, and next to it, your book with a bookmark. A shadow only feels scary when you don't know what making it." And it was true. As soon as Lee lighted up the corner, the scary shadow was gone. It turned into cozy, familiar things. Everything was simple again. The boy smiled and closed his eyes, and Lee kept shining, just a little, so he knew if he ever got scared again, she'd show him everything. Outside the window and on the wall, everything was safe in her light and in her care. The fairy tale, the room where monsters disappeared. A little girl had a very special room. During the day, it looked like any other. A bed, a bookshelf, stuffed animals, and her favorite blanket with stars. But at night it turned magical. Because this room knew how to get rid of monsters. Yes, they came sometimes. One had long arms, another had one big eye in the middle of its head, and one was just plain darkness with no shape at all. They crawled in the corners, whispered under the bed, and tried to be scared. But the room was smart. If something hid under the bed, the floor would creak in such a funny way that the monsters giggled and disappeared. If something peeked out of the closet, the door would swing open and music would start playing. Happy, kind music. The kind you want to dance to, not scare anyone with. If something trying to whisper in the dark, the little lamp in the corner would suddenly light up and say, "Hey, we can see you. So many eyes, but did you even wash your face?" And the monster would vanish, all of them, without a trace, because in this room there was no space for fear, only for soft dreams, light thoughts, and plushy hugs. The girl didn't know about all these tricks. She just fell asleep under her blanket, hugging her favorite raccoon, feeling safe and calm. The room protected her, at night and always. The fairy tale, the cat who purred worries to sleep. In a warm little house lived an old cat. His name was Russell. He was fluffy, striped, and a little serious. During the day, he loved to nap on the windowsill, soak up the sun, and watch the crow that always walked along the fence. But at night, he had an important job. When everything in the house went to sleep, the kettle, the books, even the slippers, Russell jumped down from the windowsill and went to check on his person, a small one with soaked cheeks and warm little breaths. Sometimes everything was fine, but sometimes little worries showed up in the child's head. He turned under the blanket, sighed, held his hands to his chest like his heart was beating too loud. Russell sighed too, jumped onto the bed and lie down close. He always knew the right spot. By the feet, if tomorrow felt scary. By the tummy, if there were too many thoughts. But most often, right on the pillow, close to the ear. And he started to purr. His purr wasn't just it was like a wave, like the forest breathing, like the sound of safety. Woof, brr, he said. It's okay. Everything moving the way it should. You're not alone. I'm here, sleep. And the worries calmed down. They got smaller, smaller, and disappeared, like someone was gently petting them from the inside, saying, "Time to sleep now, all of you." The child drifted off, his face relaxed, his breathing became steady, and Russell kept purring, right to the end until he was sure everything was calm. Only then did he go back to the windowsill, and maybe no one saw it, but the night was safe.